I think a lot of what we're seeing here is, is because the roof is well past its 15, 20-year mark, so the warranties are out and they're over. But what we're trying to do is get a lot of these roofs on the high school replaced. All of them need to be replaced. We started replacing some down at the other end, but we are currently, now looking at the freshman hallway here that's gotten very bad. We've had substantial leaks. And then a lot of the students, they're dealing with a lot of heat, as you can see on these windows. Calhoun High School was built in 1962. There's a lot of good-sized windows in it. None of them are tinted. Anytime it's 90 degrees or 95 degrees outside, the inside of these rooms can reach up to 115 to 125 degrees. This school basically faces east and west, so there's no escaping the sun. It's in the east right now is what the room we're in. But if we were to go across the hallway, then we're into the west, so it continuously heats up, and then these being block buildings are very hard to release that heat during the night. So, and I know, we have a teacher here that deals with this on a regular basis.
Yes, there's times we'll come in here in the morning at 7:30 and it's around 90 degrees already, 90 to 95. So when you have students trying to do homework, doing assignments, and they're already sweating and things sticking to their arms, and pencils can't even hold pencils without sweating. So we have a very difficult time sometimes trying to maintain attention and trying to learn when it's extremely hot in here like it can be.
One of the other areas we want to look at is, it's not our first priority, but like anything else, it has to be a priority, is the parking lots. It's to the point anymore, they haven't been oiled and chipped for probably 5 to 6 years, and we've tried to rock them and do our best. We've had a lot of folks come in and help us out and try and grade it and keep it up, and and a lot of times not even charge us, but we're getting, like I said earlier, we're going to have to get to where we're going to have to replace or start oil and chipping some of these parking lots. Here at the Herrick facility, which was built in 1937, a lot of the windows here, we want to do the same thing as we want to do at Cowden, because this is a 3-story building, actually, and it gets extremely, extremely hot in this building. And we want to tint the windows and then get both sides, and you also want to look at all the panels at the top of these windows. They're well over 20, 25 years old. They're not even expected to last 10 to 15, so they're leaking, they're letting in air, and we've had an estimate for them from $25,000 to $30,000 to replace every one of the metal panels above all the windows. Yeah, we're in the Calhoun Grade School gymnasium. As you can see, these are the panels we're talking about. They've been painted white, but it's an aluminum panel that has been well outlived its time. They're dented, they've been caulked, they leak, a lot of times air plus water, and so we definitely got to replace every panel in this building. I think there's like 174 panels that need to be replaced. We're in what would have been the junior high boys locker room, but as you can see, the ceilings in here, again, there's some work that needs to be done because we're below the bleachers at this time, and we want to make sure that we never have any asbestos contamination from below those bleachers. So again, there's a lot of work to do in here to just secure the ceiling. You're looking at asbestos covering over that tank. As you turn, you're going to see the boiler, which is also asbestos covered, and you're going to start seeing some cracks and some broken areas, which they've assured us we're okay at this point in time, but it has to be addressed. Thank God it's not around any students, it's down in the basement, but you're looking at anywhere from $35,000 to $45,000 to correct the asbestos situation down in this room alone. Currently, we're replacing one of the roofs above what we call the old junior high, which is now the 4th and 5th grade school ceiling, or roof above us. And due to the wind damage and the different situation we've had and the weather conditions, we could not get this new roof put back on. So we've literally, my maintenance gentleman over at Herrick has come up with and created a sump pump and of course a plastic container in order for the leaks that are coming through that roof from damaging the rest of the building, and he is piping it out the front windows. Not probably something that we'd be proud of, but very efficient, and has saved us some tremendous damage to our classrooms, because we actually had leaks that were going into the library below, and we caught them soon enough before it ever did any damage to computers or books. And then we have a math classroom next door to us that was slightly leaking, and again, before we ever had any major damage, as I said, my maintenance gentleman has come up with this ingenious idea of how to trap this water when it comes to the roof drain. The ceilings, the panels we're dealing with, of course the heat, as we say, but again, there's just a lot of work that's got to be done.
No, it's okay.
We've got to keep these classrooms conducive to learning, and we've got to keep them conducive for the teachers to be able to teach.
Okay, this is an example of our deteriorating brick and mortar that is all over the entire older section of the building. It's going to take tuck pointing, it's going to take a lot of repair work, and we're going to have to work at it bit by bit because it's extremely expensive to repair this type of damage. Okay, this is an example of where we have replaced the main roofs, but the overhangs, the enclosed overhangs we have all over the building have not been repaired. So this damage is taking place at all those areas in between the new roofs and where the overhangs where we haven't addressed the roof issues there. This is our west parking lot, and in the west parking lot and the east parking lot both, we have potholes, and we begin to try to oil and chip it and build up layers, but it's going to take several layers in order to get it to a level where it's not going to deteriorate, as you can see here. Okay, and here's our sewer lift station that we have been keeping together with Band-Aids to meet the needs of the district and also keep it in compliance with all the state standards. As you can hear, there's an alarm in the background going off. When the water table gets to a certain level, it notifies us that it needs some attention, and Nick Hartke does a good job of keeping up with it. But if you can see down in there, and it's tough to see, but the concrete is falling apart and deteriorating. Pipes are rusted and falling apart, and we are in dire need of an upgrade.
Hey, I'm Ken Stouter, Superintendent of Ocala Valley School District. With 1% sales tax money, we got a lot of items that we could use that money for. Just a few to name today. We've got many windows to replace. We got windows they continually break out and fall out due to wind or weather, and they are original with the building, which is in the early 50s. We've also got gutter work, ridge cap work. Here's another example of some of the windows. All these windows that face the south and to the west have holes and cracks in them. We constantly have to do small repairs just to get through until the windows can be replaced. This goes all along the gymnasium. Okay, we reached the boiler room. This is the original boiler of the building. It's highly inefficient and not reliable. A lot of times we have to come in here on Sundays because all of a sudden it shuts off for no apparent reason. But we've done our best to keep patching and going on this. It would be a high project. This is something that this 1% sales tax money can be used for in the future, 10 to 15 years down the road, that we know that we have these problems ahead of us. Here's another example of some more patchwork. We've done what we can over the years, but the exhaust system here could be replaced and needs to be, but this is the constant things that we deal with old buildings. Here's some more examples of some deterioration and lack of upkeep that just goes on due to funding. If we don't have to get it done and we can put money elsewhere for kids, we do, but that money could be used for small projects like these that go out through all our buildings. Okay, we're here at the high school at Ocala Valley, and like I mentioned, we have parking lot issues going on that have been lack of care due to funding, and want to do what's best for the kids and leaving this behind. We've got many potholes, and this whole parking lot, if you scan it, everybody sees that it needs to be oiled and chipped. And just like at the middle school, we're very proud of our gyms. We do a great job of trying to keep them maintained. What we don't want to do is lose the ability to keep the upkeep going on these. We want to continue to make these gyms look nice and presentable to the public. We're here in the high school boiler room. As you can see that the boilers are dated, they are inefficient. We want to make sure that we can keep the heat going in the buildings in times when these old boilers are going.
Go ahead.
You can feel the steam.
Oh. Yeah, sheesh.
So these are the steam pipes running underneath the building, and as you can see, they're wrapped in asbestos for insulation, but most of that has fallen off. So because it's asbestos, all of it would need abated before we could start fixing the steam pipes. When we open this door, we're just hit with steam, and that's because the pipes are leaking, and the steam's basically underneath the building, heating up the floors. Okay, so one of the problems we have with those steam pipes, like I said, they have asbestos covering them, so we can't really go down there and repair them without about $500,000 worth of asbestos abatement. So we have originally 3 steam boilers that were put in 1949, And out of the three, one continues to work. And as you can see, we've used one of them to take parts off to keep our last one working. The boilers are so old, of course, so we can't get new parts for any of them. They're also very highly inefficient because the unit ventilators that regulate the heat don't work. So the way we heat the building is the custodians come down here and turn the boilers on or off. So there is no automatic turn on or off or thermostat regulation. It's just basically running where it's not. So these are the unit ventilators that sit in each one of the classrooms, and originally they were hooked up to thermostats in the room and they would turn on or off to regulate the heat, but because they no longer function, they're just on. So like I said, our heat is either on or off. There's no regulating heat inside the rooms, and so most of the time the building is overheated and teachers have to open windows to regulate their heat. We have issues with our roof over the auditorium and the gymnasium. This is an example of where the auditorium roof needs replaced. It's leaking around this drain. It's about 25 years old, and so the warranty on the roof is done and it's time to replace it. It's about a $300,000 project.